Choosing the wrong digital business could be devastating. You can lose time, you could lose money, and more importantly, you could be discouraged on your digital journey. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 9 different digital businesses. I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons for each of these businesses. And I'm also going to share with you some questions you might want to ask yourself in order to make sure that you choose the right business for you. Let's start with number 1, an e-commerce store. So an e-commerce store is a store where you're going to sell physical products to people that simply want to buy what you have to sell. It could be products or it could be a service. Now, some of the pros of this model is that you can sell physical products, which a lot of people like to do. It's actually quite scalable in the sense that you can increase your inventory very quickly over time. And lastly, it's actually quite easy to set up. You can use platforms like Etsy or Shopify in order to set it up, or you create your own personalized website where you can actually advertise your products. Now, one of the disadvantages of e-commerce stores is that you have to manage inventory, and then you also have to manage shipping because you have to send your products at the person's house or place of work. And last but not least, competition can be quite high depending on the product or the service that you're selling. Right up next at number 2, we have affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is simply you being paid on commission every time you refer someone to a product or a service. Now, the advantages of affiliate marketing are quite simple. Very low startup cost. All you need is a good internet connection and a cell phone or a laptop. Zero inventory to manage, and really flexible in terms of the time of day that you actually put your time and invest in building the platform for you to advertise your affiliate links. Now, the disadvantages of affiliate marketing is that it can take some time before you build an audience that will actually trust you to buy the products that you're promoting. The second disadvantage is that the commission rates can be almost nothing, 1%, 2%, up to 20%, and even 30% depending on what you're advertising. The third is that you're actually reliant on somebody else fulfilling the product, which could be nerve-wracking for some people. And last but not least, oftentimes you're going to be declined when you want to try to advertise a product because nobody knows you. And so affiliates will be very reluctant at first to trust you in advertising their product. Now, the next digital business is online courses and coaching. This is simply you providing your expert advice, expert coaching on a given topic and doing this using an online platform. Now, this content will be hosted on platforms like Udemy or Teachable as an example. One of the biggest advantages in coaching and online courses is that it's highly scalable. You have a reach that's completely global where you can sell your courses across the world, and the opportunities for passive income are actually quite high. Now, the pitfall or the downside of online courses and coaching is that it requires a significant amount of time and sometimes money in the front end because you actually have to record the content that you're going to prepare, and you also have to deliver it. It can be quite competitive depending on the topic that you've decided to jump into, and it does require ongoing updates for the clients and the audience to feel that they're getting value off the investment that they actually made. Now, the next digital business is freelancing services. So I want you to think of Fiverr and Upworks as good examples of places where you can go in order to sell or buy services. This is nothing more than you offering professional services using whatever platforms and doing it all virtually. Again, the advantages here is that the startup costs are extremely low. It's highly flexible in that you can work from anywhere in the world. And number 3, which is in my opinion the most important, is that it actually leverages the existing skills that you have right now. In other words, what you're doing right now as a side hustle or even your 9 to 5, these are skills that you can use and leverage in order to get further and actually drive the business. Now, the downside of freelancing is that the income can be quite inconsistent. Now think about it. When you have a 9 to 5, you get paid every 2 weeks or maybe once a month. When you're a freelancer, you can get paid every 30 days, every 60 days, every 90 days, and the amount of income you generate could be quite inconsistent. You might be busier during the summer and things might slow down during the winter as an example. The other thing with freelancing is that business development and client acquisition can be quite costly and quite timely. And lastly, competition, depending on the industry and the niche you're in, could be quite high as well. Okay, up next, we're talking about blogging. Blogging is simply creating content, sharing it with a list of users on a specific niche, something that you're passionate about and something that you actually like speaking about. Again, starting it on the advantages is extremely easy. It's actually very low cost. All you need is a good internet connection, a cell phone, and a laptop. It's extremely flexible in that all you need to do is decide when and how you're going to invest in writing the article or the product review that you want to do. And it's highly scalable in the sense that you can add a lot of topic and subtopics to your blog. I actually started a blog a couple of years ago called MoneySenseMedia. Feel free to connect to it and to hop on the distribution list by simply clicking on the link that you see above. Now, some of the pitfalls of of blogging is that it takes a lot of time to actually create a faithful following. You're also very reliant on traffic in order for you to drive eyeballs into your website. And the only two ways to get traffic is organic or by paying for traffic, which is extremely expensive. The other downside of blogging is that income is almost non-existent at first. You only start making money in the medium to long term by being consistent and going at it on a very consistent basis. All right, the next one is subscription box businesses. I want you to think about this as curating products and services, packaging it, and sending it to a list of users that are interested in your opinion. A good example of this is Le Voyage d'Alexis. Alexis is someone who actually sends a package every week or every month to his faithful followers on the best deals to travel the world. And anytime somebody actually clicks on one of the links in order to buy a ticket that is significantly discounted because he's done all the research, he gets a cut and he gets a commission. So the advantages of this is that you have a recurring source of revenue on a monthly basis because a percentage of your base is always going to be selecting and purchasing a ticket to fly anywhere in the world. The other advantage is that it's extremely niche focused. So in the context of Alexis, for example, he's looking specifically at people that are trying to travel in the next 30 to 60 days anywhere in the world, leaving from either Montreal, Toronto, or anywhere else in Canada. The third big advantage is that you have a predictable income stream. Once you build your business model, you have a steady, consistent percentage of your base that is actually building and purchasing tickets. And once you do that, then you know exactly how much money you should be earning on a regular basis. Now, the disadvantage of this model is that it takes quite some time in order for you to build the audience, in order for you to sell your product. And the second disadvantage is that you have to do a lot of trial and errors to figure out which product your niche actually is interested in over time. The other disadvantage is that depending on what you're offering, the product logistics for shipping could be quite comprehensive and quite difficult to actually manage. And that's additional cost that's added on the back end. All right, now we move to print on demand. This is a business where you can create and sell personalized items without having to hold any inventory. When your client goes on your website, he or she places their order with what they're looking from a design requirement, and it's fulfilled in the back end completely seamlessly. Now, the pros of print on demand is that there's no inventory that's required, very low startup cost, and it's actually great for the creative types. If you're the type that loves colors, that like to put your own touch to things, then creative and print on demand type products are really a good fit for you. Now, the cons of this model is that the profit margins can be extremely low at first. You're also very dependent on the scheduling of the third-party vendor who's going to be fulfilling the print on demand item for you. And lastly, competition can be quite high for print-on-demand products. Now we've moved to number 8, social media consulting or management. This is where you're gonna help other businesses grow online on a day-to-day basis by managing their content and helping them with managing their social media. The first advantage is that there's a lot of demand for this, particularly right now. The second advantage is that it can be done completely remotely. And last but not least, you'll get a great sense of joy and personal satisfaction knowing that you're helping businesses grow their online presence. Now, the pitfall of this option is that client management can be quite consuming, which essentially means that you're going to spend a lot of time dealing with clients. The second is that social media trends change all the time, which means that you absolutely have to do everything to stay up to date with the latest YouTube or Instagram trends, as an example. And the third is that market is quite competitive. There are a lot of small and medium players in that space right now, trying and vying for people's eyeballs and for products and services. Okay, so the last digital business is dropshipping. Dropshipping simply means that clients go on your website where you're advertising a product, and once they actually purchase the product, a supplier in the back end is the one doing the fulfillment from A to Z, and you get a commission on the price of the item. The first advantage, obviously, is that there's no need for inventory. The second is that there's low upfront costs and low investment in time and in money at first. And the third is that you could do it anywhere in the world. It can be done completely remotely and flexible. Now, the first disadvantage is that your commission rate could vary significantly from being almost non-existent to as high as 50%, depending on the product that you're actually sourcing. The second disadvantage is that space is extremely competitive. And the third big disadvantage is that you're completely dependent on your supplier's ability to fulfill the product that you're selling. Which means if a product takes 3 months in order to get there, your client's not going to be happy, and your client is going to be calling you for a refund or for a follow-up and or for a discount. All right, so we've gone through the 9 types of digital businesses. How do you choose which one is best for you? There are 5 questions that you can ask yourself that can help drive you towards the right business model. Now, still to the end, because I also want to share with you a pro tip on a mistake that you want to be sure you don't make. Here's the first question you want to ask yourself. What are your core strengths and the skills that you have? What are those things that you're really good at and that you're passionate at? These are the things that you don't mind doing even if you wouldn't get paid to do. But if you get any money doing it, you're even happier doing it. So what are those things that you're passionate about? What are those skill sets that you have? And I want you to write that down on a piece of paper or in your phone. The second question you want to ask yourself is, how much time can you realistically dedicate to your business? Is it 10 minutes a month? Is it 10 hours a week? Is it 5 hours a day? Your situation and the amount of time you're able to invest is going to dictate how successful you're going to be in your digital business. The third question you want to ask yourself is, what level of investments are you prepared and comfortable doing to get things going? If you got $10,000 to invest at first and little time, that's one thing. If you've got a lot of time but can only invest $10 or $100, it changes the type of business that might be the best fit for you right now. The fourth question you want to ask yourself is as follows. Do you prefer working with digital products or with physical products? The way you answer that question is going to guide you towards a more suitable business model and a digital business for you. And then the last question you want to ask yourself is, how quickly do you want to see results? If you're in for the long game and you're totally fine with waiting 6 months, a year before you get your first affiliate sale, then that's okay. But if you're looking for a quick return in the next 30 to 60 days, then you might want to change which digital business model you're actually going for. Now, here's your pro tip you want to be very careful of. You don't want to do multiple digital businesses at the same time to start off. This was one of the mistakes that I made. I decided to go into vlogging, affiliate marketing, drop shipping, all at the same time. If you do that, you risk, there's a high likelihood that you're gonna either burn out, and more importantly, you're gonna fail at all of them at the same time and you're gonna get discouraged. You don't wanna start a lot of these initiatives at the same time. Start with one. Be successful with one first, and then add a second and a third to your canvas of digital businesses. I hope you like this video. Please share it with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend, smash the like button, and I'll see you on the next one.